Okay, let's see if we've got this. Let's hope that this is going to work. Okay, let's see. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Oh my goodness, this has been a challenge to get on with all of you this morning, and so I am hoping that you see me and that we are live. If you do come on, please make sure that you like, comment, share, because I put you in drawings to win all kinds of fun stuff. So let me just make sure that I've got it saved to my group. I have been having so many problems with Facebook, and I'm going to start streaming through YouTube, but please let me know when you come on that you are here with us. I am so excited to be back online. So how's everybody doing? For those of you who are finding me, my name is Terry Brummagem. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator and love coming on with all of you and sharing. And so for those of you who do watch me and you have not been getting notifications, I kind of took a little break. I used to be in the mortgage industry with my mom and dad years ago, and I recently just got my mortgage loan originator license, one and done, praise God. And so I, needed to take that time to do that, but I am here excited to be with all of you. So welcome for any of you that are new. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I honestly have so many projects that I need to come on and show you all how to do because my stack is getting bigger and bigger, and I am excited to be back on doing lives with all of you and to announce that I am doing in-person classes. Many of you have been asking. So let me explain to you while you're admiring these fun projects how that works. So every Tuesday morning, with a few exceptions of some upcoming events I've got going on, I am doing live morning classes Tuesday mornings from 10 to noon local. That's Loveland, Colorado, Mountain Standard Time. So we get together, we do projects. For those of you who do not live local, or maybe you're busy at that particular time, I am going to be doing to-go kits. So don't feel like you're missing out. So you've got to sign up for my newsletter, because that's going to be where a lot of the details are going to be, the different times, dates, addresses, etc. You can also find it on my craftslatte.com. And I just realized, since I haven't been online for a while, that this is my old one. So go to craftslatte.com. You can hit shop now. You can go to events, and I have all of this posted. The third Tuesday evening of the month, I'm also meeting at Perkins Restaurant here in Loveland. And again, all of my details of my events are on my newsletter. So please let me know. I have to get confirmation that you're going to be attending local in order to have time to prep, because I prep and cut and do all kinds of fun stuff. Sometimes we do 2 projects and it's techniques like this one. Sometimes we do 3, 4. It really depends on time and what the group is wanting. So let's go ahead and get started. I am working with the Brewed for You bundle on page 83 of the annual catalog. And it's a fun set. I've been being asked more and more to do like masculine cards, or not like the kid or the flowery. So this one is a very versatile set. And so I absolutely love this one. And so I'm going to show you some fun product that we're going to be using to get this effect. I don't know if the camera is going to be able to show the detail on it, but it's really fun. It's called puff paint, and it's going to get bigger and bigger as we use it with the heat emboss tool. And so I originally did a beer one for some of my buddies that had some birthdays, and then I had a request because my dad, we did a really fun birthday party for him one time, and it was using root beer. So I thought that this would be really fun for the kids that come to my local class, especially since we did it at the church. Maybe they didn't want to do beer, so we did root beer. So you'll have to tell me in the comments. Right now, I'm not seeing any comments because I'm using a new way of trying to get on because I couldn't get on. So please, if you are here, like, comment, share, let me know that you're here because I am not seeing anything. So I hope that you are there. And I put everybody into the spinner wheel because I was on Wheel of Fortune, for those of you that don't know. And then you might be the lucky recipient to get one of these cards. So again, all you have to do is like, comment, share my page since I'm coming back on trying to get more stuff done. So I'm actually going to put these over here. Now, again, you can go to craftslatte.com, hit shop now. Make sure that you use the host code, please, when you're checking out. That's how I'm able to give away prizes and do fun different things. So again, you just hit craftslatte.com, hit shop now, and then at checkout, it'll ask you to use the host code. So the one that I'm going to show you today is the root beer. Because, you know, maybe you don't have any people that drink, but it's still a really cute card. So these are the products that we're going to be using. I am using Cajun Craze cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5. And when I have my full sheet, what I do first is I score it at 4 1/4. Then I cut it at 5.5, and that enables me to have 2 bases for cards. So I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder to burnish. And you guys will have to forgive me. You know, if you're new coming on, have patience with me. I haven't been on in a while. And so, you know, it's like riding a bike. I know that it's fun to get on. And it's like, you know, like riding a bike. But I'm a little bit rusty, so please forgive me. So we're going to be using Cajun Craze. Now I'm going to bring in a scrap paper, which is grid paper that I use in my Stamparatus. This was a fun flower technique that I did the other night. It just happens to be there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called random stamping to get the border here. Now, let me actually show you. I don't know if you can tell in the detail, but it kind of looks blurry, but I did that on purpose because, you know, foam and I'm not being able to look through a glass clearly. But what it is actually vellum paper underneath that I random stamped on the basic white cardstock, okay? So that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna bring in our Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and what I'm gonna do is open that up and bring in my mug. This set has so many different fun things. If you're a wine drinker, maybe you are an iced tea drinker, the ale would be fun, but I just thought there was really some fun sayings on this. So what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and stamp this. Okay. Supplies out of the way. And again, I'm just going to random stamp. And the placement could be a little off. So that's why you always want to have some protectant paper underneath. Okay. Because I'm stamping off. It's also called stamping off maybe if you want a lighter shade from the original of what you're working with. So you would go 1 and then 2, and that's called stamping off. Some of the orange shades and the brown shades, we do that. So now that's what we're going to use for our base. But while I have this out, let's go ahead and do all of our stamping first. So let me get my scrap paper back in here. And I just had it. Where is it? Here it is in my bucket. So let's go ahead and do the stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and take that mug again with the black and go ahead and stamp. And I tried doing it where I was saving paper, but for the purpose of showing you guys, I'm just going to go like this. So this is what I wanted to show you. You got to make sure that you get good coverage when you're stamping. So let's just go ahead and turn that over. The beauty of flipping is that you don't waste. So since I didn't like the way that that earlier one worked, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and do it again, and boom. Now, for this part here, this is pretty awesome. This is the foam that you put on top of your mug, okay? Technically speaking, you do not have to stamp this part because I'm going to be bringing in my puff paint and that's going to be covered. But I liked the shadowing of it behind. So that's what we're going to do. And for the sake of live, I went ahead and did that ahead of time, but I'm going to show you how I arrived at that. So again, I am bringing in the foam with the black ink. okay? And I'm just gonna stamp like that. Then what we would do is, let me make sure that all of my black stamping is done, yes, because we're gonna do some embossing. I meant to come on yesterday for Tuesday technique, but you know what? I was working on all kinds of stuff, getting my mortgage business going. So I was a little behind, but that's okay. So with these set come the dies. And so love, love, love these dies. And so I am using the foam and the outside of the mug. So how we do that is easy peasy. My local class found out this week how fun it is and fast it is to just go in, stamp, and then you run it through your machine, and it's a stamp and cut and emboss machine, and then that's how we arrive at these two here. Now I'm going to show you what I did to get this like root beer shady color. So I'm going to bring this back in, and then I brought in Cajun Craze ink. So a lot of people have been asking me, how do you open your pads? And I do need to do some cleaning. It just came from class. So the stamp pads have a little opening groove here. So what you do is you're just going to take it and open it up and make sure it's flat when you slide it. Unfortunately, one of mine got broken last week, and that's okay. You know, things can be replaced, but you just have to kind of be gentle and you slide it. So what I'm going to do is come in now with the piece that is going to go on in the middle. Now I'm going to try to do this without getting my head in. And unfortunately, we also got some embossing powder on my pad. So another reason why I really enjoy using the grid paper is you use it to make sure that you like the way things are stamping. Maybe you have it upside down. So it's always great to have this grid paper. I love it. I'm going to try to come in here and do this without getting my head in the camera. And hence, that's why you flip things and reuse it if you don't like the look of it. And that actually turned out really well. So then I would just either fussy cut it. If you don't have the dies and a cutting machine, then you would just take scissors and cut it out. And then I think it's very important to right away, I bring in my Simply Chamois and clean my stamps, okay? Some of them will get stained, and that's fine, just like my mat, but you would not even know it. But this is actually, I just washed this before I came on, and that's how you clean your stamps. It's called the Simply Chamois, and then I just put it inside our cases that we have. You can use whatever you prefer. Okay, so we are done with those stamps. Now I'm going to go ahead. I want to do all my stamping and all of my prepping first. So I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way for just a second. Put that over there. Because now we are going to do embossing. Don't let it intimidate you. I love it. It's easy. It's fun. So what you're going to need is you can store your embossing powder however you like. I use these little cases, and there's a couple of different ways I do it. You are going to need Versamark ink, okay? That's what it looks like. It looks a little bit dirty, but that's fine. Well, hello, Rusted and Weathered from Kansas City. Oh, finally I see a comment. So it is working. Okay, perfect. The internet we've been having a little bit of trouble with, so that's awesome. All right, now I'm just using basic black. Now all of my measurements are also in my newsletter and going to be on my blog. So I always put a picture of a sample there, and then all of the supplies, measurements, instructions, and this is what it will look like if you are a newsletter subscriber. So again, please go to craftslatte.com and sign up for that. This is an embossing buddy, and for a while we did not have it anymore, and they brought it back. It's in the mini catalog. That just helps with imperfections, different things. Now, what I'm going to do is I have a tray. I can do it directly in here. This is how I store my embossing powder. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take that Versamark ink. Make sure everything's clear, okay? Because you're not going to be able to see what you're doing until the embossing powder gets on and it gets lifted from the heat tool, okay? So I am using, I owe you one or several. Again, that's where I got this. And my table looks a little bit messy right now, but it's okay. So what I'm doing is I also like to use the grid paper to put it on the straight line here to give me a leverage of where I'm stamping because I can't see. So we're just going to kind of eyeball it and push down. And when you push down, I don't know if you can see, and if I'm in the screen, but it lifts on the clear as you do it, okay? So let's go ahead and put this away. You got to keep your area clean, especially when you're embossing, because you don't want things to like get blown. And since I was carrying stuff from home, it did get a little bit messy. But you know what? That's the fun of it, I guess, right? So what I'm going to do is there's a couple of different ways you can do this. I'm actually going to, my tray is actually in a storage thing, so I didn't have it. So what I'm going to show you is you can use so many different things when you are embossing. You can use a filter. You can just do it right inside of my little container here. It's honestly whatever works for you. And then you're just going to tap, 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 and then go ahead. Whoops, see, I almost did it. And then clean it up that way. Make sure you get it out of the way before you bring in your heat tool, because it is going to be a little bit messy. You know, it's blowing. So that's what we're going to do there. Put that away over there. Let's go ahead and bring back this. And sometimes it gets hot. So I do like to use my little tool here, the reverse tweezers. This is one that I got a while ago. And look there, I just bumped it on the screen. Sorry about that. So I'm going to actually just do this real quick and make sure that I have a good coverage on there. And I like to use the reversing tool to make sure that I don't get burned, because it will get hot. I mean, just have to be careful, just like a lot of crafting, right? So what I'm gonna also do is I have a paintbrush, but I don't know where it is. So if you see some of these just little imperfections, blow on it, maybe just try to get it off. But I do have paintbrushes that I like to use for that as well, but that's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and just go like that. It's going to be loud here for a minute, but I love showing this technique. So hopefully you'll be able to see it good. So I'm going to kind of do it upside down here. Sometimes if you do it upside down from the back first, it just kind of starts the process a little bit, okay? And so I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see. Whoops. Oh, there it is. It was legged. It wasn't on the screen, so I don't know if you can tell. Okay, so now what we're going to do is kind of come in from the side and hope that you can see this on screen. And so this is embossing, and then we're going to also do the same thing. Come on. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, there it goes. And then wait until you see how fun it is to do the puff paint. Come on, there's just a little bit. Oh, there. Did you see? Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. It's hard because the screen is a little bit legged. Okay, so there we have it. So let's go ahead and shut this off, okay? And then I'm going to just put this over here for just a second. And then what we're going to do is bring in this Snowfall Accents Puff Paint. Now this is in our, I call it the holiday catalog. It is the mini catalog, okay? And I think it is with the gnome set, because in one of my local classes, we will be doing the gnomes. All right, which page is that on? It is so fun. But in the back of the catalogs now, they actually have a breakdown, which makes it really easy for you to find stuff. So here's our new embossing toolkit that you can get the tray, the paintbrush, the new embossing, and the little tool. But we're not using that because I already have one. But the Snowfall Accents Puff Paint can be found on page 43. And let's see actually how they used it. Yes, they used it on the gnomes. And so I'm trying to see. So they did it on this little Christmas tree over here. I'm going to be using it on his beard as well as some other fun ones. So let's go ahead and bring this little piece in here. But what I want to do first is you're going to put the foam behind, okay? And lo and behold, best thing to use is Scotch tape. You could use a dimensional if you wanted to, but I'm going to do the dimensional at the end. And I'm going to literally just tape this to make sure that I like where it is, which I do. Then you're going to shake this, and it does come out fast. Actually, let me just move this over just a little bit. It comes out fast, and you think that you've ruined your project, but you know, the more you have, the funner it is. So I'm actually going to get this heated back up so we don't take so long. And what we're going to do is, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Good morning, Sonia. Thank you, Rusted and Weathered. Deborah, yes, I'm happy to be back. So I am just putting coverage over this. And again, it looks really watery. What I really liked though is how it's going to be kind of shown in front through the puff paint. I wanted a little bit of shadowing. You could even come on and do some of the Cajun craze on there to make it look like the root beer is kind of overflowing. So here we go. Hopefully it's going to be good in the screen, and it's going to take a minute, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing here and how fun it's going to be once it starts. So I'm just going to kind of let it do its thing. You guys will have to tell me. This was very popular at the class last week. Come on, guy. Here it comes. Can you see it? They were just applying more and more because it was so fun to see. So you definitely have to make sure that it's hot. You think you're doing it wrong, but we're not. Here it comes. Do you guys see it? This would be so fun on all the Christmas trees. How we're doing it on the mug. Come on. And we probably should have done this first because you want it to dry. But again, it'll get as big or as little as you want it. Hopefully you guys can see that. This computer is so lagged. So hopefully you can see what we've done. And again, you could put on as little or as much as you want. Can you guys see that? How fun is that? Come on, where are you? It's not showing in my screen. This is so weird, but hopefully you guys can see that without it being blurry. Oh, there it is. Do you guys see? So I could apply a little bit more there if I wanted to, but it kind of looks cool in my opinion to be off a little bit, okay? So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in some dimensionals, and I'm gonna actually let this dry just a little bit first before we put it down, but let's go ahead and bring in some dimensionals. And what I wanted to show you guys is, again, I'm just going to put that right over where the tape is holding it, because when you're heating it, it's going to try to lift up a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple, maybe 4 on here, and then just set it over here to dry. And I'm going to show you how we're going to apply the vellum so that you don't see it on the card, okay? So we're going to go ahead and bring in this piece again here. Then this is the vellum. And again, the measurements will be posted. So you can kind of see how it gives the form of a little bit blurry. I just thought it was a fun little effect. Okay. We're going to go ahead and bring in our Tombow Mono liquid glue. I call it the green glue. And so what I did is I liked to line it up roughly where I'm going to have it in the center. Okay. So I went ahead and wanted to glue this down first, okay? And so it doesn't take a lot, not a lot, just a dot like we learned in preschool. And then go ahead and bring your card base up. What I do like about the liquid glue is it enables you to move things around if you're not happy with where it's placed, okay? Like right up there was off just a little bit, okay? Then you can do it a couple of different ways. You can put this down first, which is what I did. Figured out where I like my tag, because you don't want to cover too much of your images, but you want to make sure you can still see it. So that looks good. So then what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to glue this flat. It's going to be picked up on the vellum, and then you'll be able to attach adhesive behind the vellum. So again, I'm not gluing it down yet. I'm lining it up with my basic white, and it's not going to be perfect until you actually see where you want it to go. And again, the black is going to pick up where you're going to do it, okay? So I'm going to go like this first before I push it all the way down, okay? Just give it a good nudge there on the front, and then come in on the back, just a real skinny line here, and then that's how you're going to attach without it being seen. And then the top part, we're going to be using black matte dots. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. You're just going to put 3 dabs of liquid glue, Okay, so I like how that looks. Then you're just going to lift it and just do 1, 2, and maybe 3. Push that down, allow it to attach, and then you don't have to push too hard, okay? Then, like I said, we're going to come in with our black matte dots. These are in the catalog, and I wanted them to be bold, so I like to bring my Take Your Pick tool in and just lift it right off, and then you're going to find where you had the glue dot, okay? And that's how you're going to cover the glue on the vellum, just like so. And there it is. So now we have that. Then we're going to go ahead and bring this back in here, and I like to use my, oops, that picked up a little bit too much. It's a little bit wet. It's attaching to the tape. Let's see, let's just move that. Oh, that one's not being liked, so I'm just going to try to do away with that one. I don't think we even need it. So let's go ahead and pick those up like so. And throw those away. Got my little trash. Boy, I've got a little hot mess going on here, don't I? All right. Then let's go ahead and apply this like so. You guys will have to tell me, do you like the root beer or do you like the beer? It's fine. You can make it. Oops, got something on there. All right. So there we have that. Now, let me show you how I did the straw, okay? So I love bringing in papers from different sides. And so I am using the He's the Man DSP. I don't know if there's a glare on this, but let's see. So I am using this paper here from He's the Man. I've been doing lots of masculine cards that I'm going to come on and show you guys as well. But I used this, cut about 1/4 of an inch. And I found that in the class, they were longer than they needed to be. And so you can get a lot out of this. And so I'm literally just going to cut a little strip like this for that cute little straw. And again, I tell everybody all the time, do not throw away your scraps because you will use them for sure. So I'm going to put my scissors back. And then what I did is I just put a little bit, and let's just do it like this. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive underneath it, like so. And then you're just going to come underneath and attach it where you want, okay? So I'm just going to let go of this and then allow, you can put it on before you attach it, however you want to do it, okay? So there we have it. So what do you guys think? Just a fun little technique. Again, do you like the brewed beer or do you like the root beer? And you can tell that there's a little bit of yellow shading in here. And so, for example, I could bring in, I've got my, I just used them the other night. I have my, these are my little sponges, and I don't know if I've got a Cajun Craze one in here. I probably do, but let's just go ahead and show you, and we're going to kind of do this together to see if we like it. So there's a little bit of an area on here that I could come back on and show you how to reapply the embossing to make it lifted. But I kind of wanted to see what it would look like. So you don't want to just dab because you'll get a circle. So just kind of go like this, and I just wanted to see what it would look like just to pop a little bit of that root beer on there, and I probably should have done it before. But that just kind of makes it even more fun, right? So hopefully you guys can see that. And I'll have to come back and label that as Cajun Craze because these ones are new. So there we have it. You guys, I am so excited to be coming back on. I'm going to be coming on quite a bit just to show you some of the projects that I've done. So my normal times are normally Wednesday nights at 6 and Saturday mornings. But I'm just going to be kind of playing around with dates and times. And so I'm going to be coming on just random for a while so that I can be showing you guys all these different things that I've got done that I've made. And I'm going to probably start doing, oh, Sonia, you use a paintbrush too. Nice. You can tell, oh, fun. And then hey there, hey, hi Billy. So everyone, again, thank you so much for joining me. Instead of boring you guys with all of the housekeeping, all the different specials we've got going on, I'm going to maybe kind of start doing things once a week where I do a live just on all the things that are happening so you don't miss out. But you can also find it in my newsletter on my craftslatte.com. There's some great deals going on right now. National World Card Making Day. I will at least tell you about that one because we are doing some fun events. You can actually stamp along with Stampin' Up! World Card Making Day with these 3 bundles. I actually happen to have them. So look for a live where I'm going to show you what these look like. I don't want to take up your time today. So World Card Making Day, October 1st, we're going to be coming on virtually and stamping along. And then we will also be doing these following in my local classes. And again, if you are not local, then I will be doing kits to go. So again, everything is on my newsletter. Sign up for that, and also craftslatte.com. Make sure that when you hit shop now and at checkout, you use the host code. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a blessed rest of your day, and thank you for joining Crafts a Latte. Bye-bye.